Hello, Utah fans, and welcome into this, the first edition of the Crimson Corner of the 2014 football season. One of the faces may be a little different, but trust me, the content remains the same, an in-depth look at all things Utah athletics. I'm joined by Josh Furlong of KSL.com. Josh, we've been at fall camp. One of the biggest storylines has to be the health of Travis Wilson.
Yes, one of the biggest storylines has been the return of Travis Wilson, and here's a look at his return back to Utah football. After a head injury last season, the future of Travis Wilson seemed uncertain.
You know, Travis is a tough, competitive kid, very upset by this, obviously, and disappointed, to say the least. And he was a big part of what we're doing on offense. Obviously, he's our starting quarterback, and we're going to miss him. But the most important thing is his long-term health, and that's all anyone right now is really concerned with.
Several visits later to the team's medical staff, Wilson was cleared to play football again in time for fall camp.
Nobody wants to see, a guy like that to go out like that, and we're all glad Travis is back and could come back this season to help us win.
But a QB battle with Oklahoma transfer Kendall Thompson was in the works, and the starting job was Wilson's to lose. Wilson would go on to earn the starting job over Thompson in fall camp, and he looks primed for another season.
I think definitely just a lot smarter with the football, a lot more understanding of the offense as well. I think our coaches have done a great job of teaching the offense and just sticking with a plan and going with it.
Although Wilson is the starter, Thompson will still see some playing time, but as for how much is still unknown.
Kendall's earned the right to play. He will play. It's not a two-quarterback system. It's not first quarter, second quarter. It's when we get the opportunity to put Kendall in and give him some work. He's earned that right, and you will see him play as well. But Travis is our starter.
Obviously, anytime you can get on the field and help contribute, that's a positive. So, when I get out there, I'm going to look forward to, doing some good things.
Whomever takes the field for the Utes at quarterback, they'll have several targets on this year's offense, including returning receivers Drez Anderson and Kenneth Scott.
I think this is a great offense with a lot of great talent, and even in the running back position as well. So I'm really happy with how everything's playing out, and I know once they get the ball to the people around me, I know they'll make big plays with it.
We'll get the first look at how Utah's offense looks under the direction of Wilson this Thursday against FCS opponent Idaho State. For the Crimson Corner, I'm Josh Furlong.
Thanks, Josh. With game day just a couple of days away, the Utes held their introductory press conference talking about Idaho State and the season opener. Here's what Kyle Whittingham had to say.
Coach, how excited are you to have football finally here? It feels like this offseason.
So excited I can't see straight. How about that? It's time. It's been a while. Just watching the preseason NFL games kind of gets the juices flowing, and I can't wait. I'm just very eager to get the ball in the air at 5:32 on Thursday evening. That's when we're going to kick it off.
I mentioned before, you can't overlook any of these teams. They come out just as ready. They're going to put out their best guys. And we're all, fighting for the W. And so, you can't sleep on any of these teams. Teams such as Idaho State.
It's really just to show our offense off. I think we've been practicing so hard, and it's just time for us to kind of show our identity of our offense and make sure everything is executing how we want it to execute. So it's a big part of our job to start fast on offense and just keep that momentum throughout the game.
We're more concerned with how we do things and what we're concerned about our efficiency on offense, getting on the line of scrimmage, getting the ball snapped, throwing and catching, not dropping the football, not putting it on the ground, tackling on defense. And so there's a lot of things that you learn about your team regardless of who the opponent is. But like I said, we have, anybody that lines up against you, you have respect for them, and we have respect for Idaho State. And so even though the last few games against Big Sky has been a little bit lopsided, you got to go in with the mentality that you got to do what you do well. And it's our first chance to get a look at this. We're opening that present, I guess you could say, that of the 2014 team, and it's important that we do things clean is probably the word I'd use the most, clean, in a clean fashion from a tackling standpoint, a ball security standpoint, a penalty standpoint, across the board. We want to be clean.
There's nothing more I want to do than make a bowl game. Not making one the last 2 years, it's been a huge letdown. It's not what this program's used to, and
being it's my senior year, I know a bunch of the other seniors, Nate and Junior. That's what we want to do is get this team back to, on the track it should be on. And a bowl game just to start. We want 6 wins, but we want to compete in our conference, to win the South, and we just want to get Utah back where it should be.
Thursday's game versus Idaho State marks the 4th season for the Utes since joining the Pac-12. But things haven't gone as planned. National reports are indicating that Coach Whittingham may even be on the hot seat. KSL's Jeremiah Jensen sat down with Coach Whittingham to talk if he feels any additional pressure entering this season.
Do you feel additional pressure, extra pressure than you felt in the past?
No, I don't. I'm a high-pressure guy by nature. Every year is the same to me as far as the desire to win and the will and the just the level of competitiveness. And so I'm excited about this year. We've got a lot of good returning players. We've added some real dynamic players to the roster through recruiting, and so I'm excited to get going and see what we got.
Travis Wilson's back. When you heard that news, your reaction?
Well, it was first of all a relief for Travis and his family just from a health standpoint. Obviously it's big for our program to get him back, but just relieved that the doctors have given him clearance that he's healthy and okay, and football's a bonus to the whole thing.
Now that he can play, is he the guy going into the fall?
He's the guy going in, but he's going to be pushed. We have several of our quarterbacks in the program already made progress through spring. Connor Manning, Brandon Cox, Adam Schultz made himself a better player through spring. We've added Kendall Thompson, who is transferred from Oklahoma, immediately eligible due to the graduation rule that's in place, and so he's going to get a lot of looks early on in camp. We've got to find out what he's all about and what his capabilities are, and should be a very good competition.
With Travis Wilson now healthy as a junior, do you expect him, if he wins this battle, to have a breakout season for you guys?
We hope so. Yeah, we sure hope so. And we thought we were on the verge of that last year. We beat Stanford at our place, Game 6, to go 4-2, and felt we had some momentum. And Travis gets hurt the next week, hurts his hand, and so it was something that we thought we had made great strides and ended up hitting a skid at that point in time, and season didn't turn out anywhere near like we were hoping it would. But if Travis, he's worked hard in the off season, he's physically more developed and with strength and just the body fat is, he's about 6% body fat, so he's worked hard and he's ready to go.
You made another change again at offensive coordinator. How difficult, how frustrating has that been that you've had to constantly have these changes, and what impact has it had on the program?
Well, first of all, it's not ideal to have as much change and lack of continuity, I guess you could say, at that spot. Now, a lot of it's beyond our control. Andy went to Kansas and Norm got the job at Hawaii, and there's been some reasons for it. It hasn't all just been making a change every year voluntarily. But bottom line, we're grateful that Dave is in our program and running the offense. Spring ball, if that's any indication of things to come, we're very pleased with what happened in spring. It's not a wholesale change. There's no philosophy or schematic major changes. We're still a spread offense. Just going to pick the tempo up and add some elements that Dave has brought, which hopefully will make us better.
Just overall expectations. What are your expectations?
We got to get back to a bowl game. That's we've been one game short of that the last 2 years. Last year, we got to be better finishers as well. The two main things for us this year: keep the quarterback healthy, be better finishers. We can't take a 2-touchdown lead in the Arizona State game and let it get away from us. Lose an overtime game to Oregon State, have UCLA on the ropes and not be able to make a play at the end there to get that game. And so that'll be the emphasis is being better finishers and then keeping that quarterback healthy.
Remember to check back on KSL.com for the latest Utah football updates.
Well, Josh, we like music, don't we?
Absolutely.
And we like highlights.
Well, of course.
So why not combine the two in a 2014 Utah Football Pump-Up Edition?
got a man caught at the goal line. It's a touchdown. 30, 25, 20. He's gonna go 5 touchdown. Pass for Schultz again. Looking long down the field, looking for Drez Anderson. He's got it. Launches deep down the sideline. Drez Anderson, touchdown.
Check this out, Drez Anderson.
2 touchdowns last week, brings it 10-5, touchdown, Utah!